Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. Picture two neighbors, and these guys fucking hate each other. They have beef that's been going on for generations. Their grandparents had beef. They borrowed tools and never returned them. They fucked each other's sisters. They've even filed noise complaints. And now one of them just built a fucking fence 6 inches too close to the property line. And everyone's got spears. Welcome to the Peloponnesian War, where Greece, fresh off of fighting the Persians, turns around and says, hey, you want to know what would top this golden age off, y'all? Let's kick off a civil war. This wasn't some tidy conflict with good guys and bad guys. It was Athens versus Sparta.
It's Sparta!
And they dragged everyone else into it. City-states, allies, enemies, mercenaries. This war went on so long, kids born in year 1 were old enough to die in the final battle. There were no heroes, no happy endings, just shattered cities, broken promises, and a fuckload of bad decisions. And in the end, the only lesson we learn from the Peloponnesian War is this: people will destroy their own world as long as they think they're right. Welcome to Time Machine Diaries. I'm Cullen. Today, we dive face first into the war that shattered classical Greece. This is part 1. It's loud, it's messy, it's petty as fuck. Hell is other Greeks. Alright, before the ships crash and the generals start monologuing like ancient Bond villains, we need to understand why this whole thing popped off. See, ancient Greece wasn't one big happy family. Every city-state had their own fucking vibes, their own gods, their own beefs. And at the center of the chaos, Athens and Sparta. Athens was flashy, loud, a naval empire built on democracy, drama, and doing whatever the fuck they wanted. They had philosophers, playwrights, and politicians who couldn't shut up. They also had tribute money flowing in from allies, and I use that term loosely. Sparta, on the other hand, Sparta was the polar opposite. Silent, rigid. Their whole society was a military cult. No luxury, no fun, just war, obedience, and vibes so tense. Now imagine these two cities staring each other down across a burning Aegean sunset. Both convinced that they are the soul of Greece. Both with swords in hand, and neither willing to back down. It wasn't about territory or power. It was about identity. Which version of Greece should lead? The artistic, naval, chaotic democracy of Athens, or the disciplined, brutal, iron-core conservatism of Sparta? They fight, everyone suffers, and nobody learns a fucking thing. But to understand how it starts, we gotta go back to a time when Athens was riding high after the Persian Wars. The seeds of betrayal were being watered. Let's start with the Delian League, also known as how Athens accidentally invented imperialism while pretending to protect its friends. Picture this. It's the early 470s BCE. The Persian Wars are over. Technically. The Greeks, against all odds, held the line. Sparta flexed on land. Athens brought the fucking thunder on the sea. The Persian Empire, that big buff beast from the east, got humiliated at Salamis and Plataea. Greece was feeling itself, united, victorious. But you know that wasn't gonna last, right? Everyone turns on each other by the fucking third act. Because peace, well, peace is for suckers. There was still Persian influence in the Aegean. Some Ionian cities were still vulnerable. And Athens said, hey, what if we stick together and finish the job? They called it the Delian League, a shiny new alliance of Greek city-states, headquartered on the island of Delos, sacred to Apollo. Each member pledged ships, men, or if you were lazy, money. Athens would organize the fleet, lead the mission, and defend everyone from Persia. Sounds noble, right? Give it 10 years. Athens moves the treasury off the island and into their own city. Safety reasons, they said. More like, let's keep our fucking eyes on the piggy bank. Suddenly, this isn't a league of equals. This is a mafia protection racket. And if you tried to leave, Athens sent warships. Like what happened with Naxos. Naxos tried to dip. They showed up, flattened the walls, seized the fleet, and forced them to keep paying dues. So much for freedom. And by the mid-5th century BCE, Athens was flush with cash. And they're spending it on marble, temples, and the ancient version of high-speed internet, plays, and philosophy. Pericles, the democratic golden boy, is out here using Delian League money to build the Parthenon. Beautiful building, by the way. Oh, no, this isn't an empire. We're just the first among equals. We're guardians of liberty. Fucking bullshit. Athens was running a naval empire and pretending it was a fucking book club. Meanwhile, Sparta's watching all this and going, what the fuck are these drama kids doing with a fleet? Sparta didn't join the Delian League. They didn't do ships. They stayed on land, flexing pecs and ignoring art. But every year, Athens got richer, flashier, louder. Every year they threw up another temple with stolen tribute. Sparta wasn't having it. And soon enough, it turned into war. Because the Greeks don't just fight outsiders, they fight each other. And the Delian League, this was just the opening act of the great self-destruction to come. So let's be crystal clear. The Peloponnesian War didn't start because someone got invaded. It didn't start over gods, or fame, or strategy. No. It started, in part, because Athens banned Megara from using their farmers' markets. I'm dead ass. Let's rewind. By the mid-400s BCE, Athens is at the top of its game. Money's flowing, the navy's thick, the vibes arrogant as fuck. Enter Corinth, a powerful city-state with a chip on its shoulder. They're like, yo, Athens, you're getting way too fucking cocky over here. Meanwhile, Sparta is playing the strong but silent type in the corner, trying to avoid a confrontation while secretly sharpening their spears. Then, there's Megara, a small, strategically placed city near Athens, and an ally of Sparta. And what does Athens do? They pass the Megarian Decree, which in modern terms is like saying, hey Megara, you can't shop at our grocery stores anymore. Also, no ports, no markets, no trade with the Athenian Empire. Good luck with that famine. And why? The official reason? Oh, they planted crops on sacred land. But the real reason? Petty beef. Megara was tight with Corinth. Corinth didn't like Athens. So Athens used economics as a blunt instrument. It was the ancient Greek version of sanctions, but without the PR team to fucking spin it. Yeah, we're just defending our religious values. Nah, bro. You're choking a smaller city to send a message. And guess who sees this and loses their fucking mind? Sparta. Because here's the thing. Sparta didn't want a war. Contrary to the propaganda, Sparta wasn't out here licking blood off of their spears 24/7. They were conservative, cautious, and slow to move. But Athens kept poking the bear. And then, a few more things happened. First, Corinth got dragged into a fight with a small colony called Corcyra. Corcyra asked Athens for help. Athens said yes, because they're fucking addicted to drama. Corinth said, this is a violation of everything. And now they're in a rage spiral. Second, a few more Athenian allies start acting like mini empires themselves, bullying neighbors, skipping peace talks, flexing tribute. And finally, Sparta called a council. The question? Has Athens broken the 30 years peace? That peace treaty, signed years earlier, was the band-aid holding Greece together. Now, it's fraying fast. The vote came down. Sparta's allies, one by one, stood up and said, Athens is too much. Athens is out of control. If we wait, we will be swallowed. And Sparta? They voted for war. Not because they wanted to. Not because they thought they'd win fast. But because if they didn't act now, there wouldn't be anything left to save. This is how wars start. Not with heroes, not with strategy, but with grudges, sanctions, bruised egos, and one city banning another from buying grain. The Peloponnesian War officially kicked off in 431 BCE, and what followed was nearly 3 decades of death, betrayal, in civilizational self-sabotage. Because once the gears start turning, once the alliances activate, once the blood is spilled, there's no turning back. Athens does exactly what every rising power eventually does. It picks the wrong fight at the wrong time. You ever see someone win the lottery and immediately blow it all on cocaine and tigers? That's Athens. And the Peloponnesian War is the fucking hangover. That's it for part 1. Stay tuned for part 2.